I had a rather interesting conversation this past week. It was with a professor at a university, and this professor, she's working on the definitive history of the ghostwriting profession. We chatted for about 45 minutes, and I'm sure I'll be sharing the link to the book from the university press when it releases later this year. The context of the book is how much the writing world has changed over the last few thousand years and then over the last few thousand days. I, of course, am Joshua Lisec. This is Daily Persuasion. I am the New York Times bestselling author, co-author, ghostwriter. Speaking of ghostwriting, I am currently working on my 100th nonfiction book. As of this recording, I'm one chapter away from finishing that for a client. In addition to this, I'm a certified hypnotist. This talent stack, as Scott Adams would say, through this unique set of experiences and skill sets, I teach you how to better influence the VIPs of your life and career. As much as possible, we see through the headlines what's happening and what's the hidden advanced persuasion insight angle we can glean from this. Now, as you might expect, I, with this professor, talked about artificial intelligence and AI. And we're witnessing what Nassim Nicholas Taleb, in previous books of his, has called the barbell effect. And you know what a barbell is, where there's that thin metal bar in the middle, and then there's giant weights on either end, right? Well, imagine one is, let's say, a 50-pound weight on one end of the barbell, and then the other is a 5-pounder. So you have this mass of density where most of the weight is, and then this teeny tiny just this little weight. This little guy, little tiny guy right here. Huh? There he is, little guy. I want you to imagine that sort of strange barbell, misaligned barbell with those various weights. Why do I want you to imagine this? That is the ghostwriting profession that I shared with this professor. What AI has done is it has been and will continue to wipe the floor with pretty good ghostwriters, okay copywriters, and all beginners. Absolutely all beginners. The sort of people who are looking for a budget-friendly ghostwriter, when they see ChatGPT is 20 bucks a month and writing a book with a human ghostwriter, maybe who's just done one or two books, is $2,000, what are they going to choose? The 50-pound barbell. I mean, the vast majority are going to choose AI, as they are choosing AI. Now, what does this also mean about a slim number of highly successful, experienced veteran ghostwriters? The sort of people who will never, ever hire a budget-friendly ghostwriter because they want the best. They're certainly not going to use AI at 20 bucks a month, which of course is even cheaper and lower status. They're going to use human ghostwriters. That's this small group who are going to survive. I want you to think about a couple of other things. Status, persuasion, and the Matthew principle. Status persuasion is where, I'll give you an example of this. Okay, so I noticed this first in 2016, 2017-ish. When I began writing for a number of digital marketing entrepreneurs, or rather online business owners who were writing and communicating regularly about digital marketing practices and sales, advertising, PR, funnels, so on and so forth, you could say it was literary polyamory, where what was happening is they were sharing me. Frankly, they would say, "Oh, your book is so good. You're really busy. How'd you do it?" "Oh, I hired Joshua Lisec." "Oh, wow. I need to hire Joshua too." And I was being word of mouth marketed to the next founder, to the next founder, to the next entrepreneur, just one on down the line. It was really something. There were times where I was in the room with multiple clients. They were unaware that they were all working with me at the same time, which is quite fun, even though the referrals came from the same sources. Just delicious, this experience as a ghostwriter. Now, their status was I'm important enough to have a ghostwriter. It was a flex. It was like, you're a CEO and you do your taxes yourself. Here in America, you prep your taxes by yourself. You draw up your own contracts, like with a Google Doc template. You write your own book. That is the status play. It's like, are you cleaning your own toilets at your house? Or do you have a housekeeper? Status. Status. Those people are not going to be using AI. That's low status coded. I also mentioned the Matthew principle. So who are they choosing in order to present this higher status position? Like, I'm important enough to have a ghostwriter, someone who follows me around or meets with me or shadows me, let's say, and records and documents everything. Only important people have that. And then there's the Matthew principle, based on a parable of Jesus. We'll paraphrase the lesson, which is, to him who has, more will be added, and to him who has nothing, everything will be taken. I began my career as a ghostwriter as a novelist. I already had books that were out there with my name on them. So I already had proof that I could write books, I could finish them and get them published, and they were good. Contrast that with other ghostwriters that I've met over the years, which are really more just aspiring ghostwriters. They haven't actually written anything. They just say, I'm a nonfiction book ghostwriter. Oh, really? Can I read any of your books? No. Oh, NDA? Oh, no, I just haven't actually written any. Imagine you say you're a website design studio. And I say, wow, cool. What's your website? Oh, we don't have a website. Wait, what? Can I see your portfolio? Oh, actually, I don't have a portfolio. I'm a website design studio. We're looking for our very first gigs. You don't even have samples? No, because we haven't gotten hired yet. No one's hiring that website design studio, folks. Okay, it's not going to happen. And so the only valid path to become a professional ghostwriter now is to be an author or co-author with your name on books. Like I told the professor yesterday, as of this recording, the future of ghostwriting is authorship. She'll probably put that quote in the book, I'm guessing. We'll see later this fall when the book releases. What this video means to you, there's a number of things. The first of which is how AI is democratizing access to your industry, but that's poverty coded. Okay? If anybody can afford it for 20 bucks, everyone can, and therefore it's not cool anymore. It's not special. It's not luxury. So if you want to make a living selling a particular service, go upscale. What is the luxury market version of it, of the thing that you can sell? And then redesign your aesthetic according to that. Most ghostwriters, they just pull up their whatever their cheap built-in webcam was on their computer. Contrast that, a white background, maybe a closet in the background. They're working at home and there's kids carrying on and a dog barking, grainy photo, blurry camera lens. Contrast that setup with this, what you see here. And imagine that this is who you're meeting with this setup every week. No contest. No contest. So consider how AI is affecting the perception of status and status persuasion in your space. How can working with you grant your clientele more status in their network, in their industry, and to protect their own potential customers? If you offer a services-based business, something else that I said to the professor yesterday will make sense for you. This is how we do it at Daily Persuasion. We kind of go all over the place, but there's something for everyone along our journey in these videos. I said to her yesterday that the author may be my client, but the readers are the buyer. So as a ghostwriting client, as an author, you're not hiring me for you, you're hiring me for your market. This is the correct, I hate the word mindset, but I'm going to use it. This is the correct mindset to have when you're a services professional. You want to ask, who's going to be using this? That's who you're writing it for. And then coming back around onto the Matthew principle, if you want to sell something, you need to have your own proof of concept. You got to have books out there. I've got Unhumans, the New York Times bestseller. I've got Bulletproof, the first and only book covering the attempted assassination of Donald Trump and subsequent investigations that we paid for ourselves, my co-author Jack Posobiec and I. We paid for our own private investigation. To this day, that book is more detailed than anything United States Congress or Senate committees have published on the matter of Butler, Pennsylvania, or West Palm Beach, Florida. Imagine that. Someone comes to me and they want me to do a current events topic or a historical nonfiction book. Talk about proof of concept. Talk about status.